Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of My Name is Not Raven, and I am basically teaching you in the dark. So, we want to kind of get with the nitty of the gritty. So, as you guys are coming in, what I like to do is to show you some problems that you generally will see in the GED, the ASVAB, the Accuplacer, TEAS test, HESI test, and see what you guys can do in 1 minute. Now, I'm not doing this to judge you. I'm not doing this to make you feel horrible. I'm doing this so you're actually learning some of the concepts before you can kind of get to everything. So, as I said, we're in the dark side of the moon. Can you solve this in 1 minute? Yes, I had to bring out the old timer. And I'm surprised that it is still working. Okay, so we are just trying, let me put it down here so I won't get too much of a shade. We're just trying to learn some concepts, feel comfortable with the math, so we don't have to feel inferior anymore. Okay? We don't want to feel inferior. Okay, so thank you so much for guys coming on in. Alright, Stacy Cakes. Alrighty. So, whoops. Now you can't even see it. Okay, so we have roughly like 15 seconds left, and then we're going to show our answers. So if you're not sure where to start or what is this, once the timer goes off, hey, just put a question mark. Okay, so you can still participate. Alright. Now, go ahead and put it in. So the only answer is 1. Okay, Stacy Cakes, I see you with 1. Good morning, Brenda. How are you? Okay, Low Key, thanks for coming on in. Okay, you should give it 10 seconds. Well, here's my thing, math. A lot of people, and the ones that I'm generally, if you read the description, it's going to be the ones that are really struggling with math. Not the ones that like math, not the ones that are trying to escape from their general homework with calculus and they want to feel, confident again, so they do basic math to, make other people feel bad, to make them feel better. I'm really focusing on people that just when they see math, it's a straight panic. And they can't move on with their lives because they're not comfortable with math. So it's not really for people that are like really super excited about math, because there's so many other influencers and presenters here on TikTok that'll work for. Okay? Alright? Alright, thank you, math. Appreciate you. Okay, hello, Lou. Alright, and then we have another Lou. Okay? So, I don't need for other people to correct other people. I want to know what they know. Okay? So it's not anyone's, job to say, no, it's not the right answer. That's what I'm supposed to do. Okay? So, it's okay. You just enjoy and then let me break down. Now, we're simplifying this. Some people don't even know what these little things are. These means absolute values, okay? So it's not a 1 minus negative 12 plus 5 minus 13 or plus 51 minus 13 minus 91. That's not what's happening. Inside or in between the absolute value, there is an expression. So we have negative 12 plus 5. So the absolute value of negative 12 plus 5 is a negative 7. Okay? Then we have a minus sign that comes down. So now we have 3 minus 9, and 3 minus 9, that gives me a negative 6. So for the absolute values basically how far away from 0. So if you think of a number line, let me just do a quick little number line. We have 0. Say 6 is here and negative 6 is here. So your distance away from 0 to 6 is like 6 units. But if we go the opposite direction, it's still 6 units, but it's just going in the opposite direction. Its absolute values is always how far away you are from 0. That's why absolute values are always positive. So when you have the absolute value of -7, the result is 7. And the absolute value of -6 is 6. And that minus sign that we have in between just comes down. So that's why 7 minus 6, that equals 1. So your solution for this is just going to be 1. Not a -1, but a positive 1. Alright? Okay? So when it comes down to these with the absolute values, don't let it intimidate you. Okay? That's why I do the things that I do. I try to make this a little bit easier for you so you can get the answer. No tricks, no tips, how to do this and how to do that, because if you don't understand the concept, it's going to be hard for you to be able to reach out. Alright? So, let's try another one. So, can you solve this in 1 minute? Okay. Take your time through it. Take a look at it and do it. Okay? Don't put your answers up right away. Okay? Don't put your answers up. Wait until the time has expired. Okay, I'll try this again. Don't put your answers up. Wait until the time has expired. How do you know to subtract? So Stacy, when the signs are different, you're always subtracting. Okay, when the signs are different. Think about it as money. If someone owed you $12 and they paid you $5, that means they still owe you $7. Okay? Hold your answers until the end. I know. There you go, Scotty Bob. There you go. Alright, now, tell me what you got. Okay, because I was getting some different answers here. Alright, which is good because it tells me that this is needed. Alright, so I have that. Ali, I see you. Michelle, I see you. Okay, my person from another source, I see you. Okay, really, Lou? -0? Okay, Jade, I see you. Julio, I see you. T, I see you. X, I see you. VD, I see you. Interesting. Stacy Cakes, I see you. Kali, I see you. Okay. Lou, I see you. Okay. There might be some other people that I skipped in the beginnings. So Nick at night. I see you. Jade, I see you. My blank space person, I see you as well. Lynx, I see you. Tabitha, I see you. Julio, I see you. Skeletor, I see you. No problem. Mr. C, I see you. Flirtatious Kitty, how are you? I see you as well. Alright, so let's take a look. Okay, Mackey's, I see you. M, I see you. Is that Pensa? I want to say. Okay, I see you as well. So now, just like y'all figured, if I do not have an equal sign, that means I have an expression. So I am simplifying. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally and the part that everyone forgets, from left to right. Okay? So we have 18 divided by 3 times 2 minus the difference of 4 and 7 squared. So first, my P. We're looking inside the parenthesis, so we have just a 2 here, so we're good with that. But we have 4 minus 7 here. So 4 minus 7, that gives us a negative 3. Alright? So everything else comes on down. Okay? After you get used to a lot of this stuff, a lot of people are like, okay, I already got that. Audrey, you can go ahead and combine that 3 and that 2. So, we are going to be dealing with the exponents. This is the first mistake a lot of people make. When you, and I know there's some of you guys are using a calculator, you're plugging in a negative 3 squared without parentheses. So the calculator is basically squaring the 3, which gives us the 9, and then tacks on the negative. That's not what you want. Negative 3 squared, that's the same as saying negative 3 times negative 3. So a negative times a negative gives me a positive, and 3 times 3 gives me 9. Okay? Everything else comes on down. Now, this is where a lot of people made the other mistake. They just went ahead and multiplied the 3 and the 2. So then when they divided 18 divided by 6, that gives us 3. And then 3 minus 9 gives you a negative 6. This is the part that gets a lot of people. When I'm saying a lot, roughly probably like around 92% of students. Okay? We have to go multiplication or division. That's what this is saying. Everyone keeps thinking, oh, multiplication comes before division. No. Multiplication or division from left to right. Okay? So now, when we're looking at this, we're starting with what comes first from left to right. Well, what came first is the division. Okay? It's not 18 divided by 6. No. It's 18 divided by 3. So 18 divided by 3, that will give me my 6. Now I'm bringing down my times 2, and I'm bringing down my minus 9. Okay, you see what that happened? There we go. So now we still have multiplication, subtraction. Multiplication comes before subtraction. So 6 times 2, that gives us 12. And 12 minus that 9 gives us our answer of 3. Okay? Alright, so Shanice, what's the correct answer then? Because here's the part. You for years, not just you in particular, there's a few, for years kept thinking that multiplying, divide, or addition and subtraction, it always comes multiplication before division. So you learned it and you memorized it for the longest time, but yet you keep getting that wrong every time. So that means we have to do the process different. Okay? We have to. What type of math? Oh, there's quite a few. Okay, you can either work in like forms of construction, you can do data analysis, you can be an IT, you can be the instructor, teaching, coaching. There's several. Okay, there's several. All right, so here's my thing, and this is a good question. So Peanut, I'm going to pin you. You're like, what? As soon as I can, I don't know. But see, not everyone does construction. I get that. But see, here's my thing. There's math in every career. Some of it is basic arithmetic. Some of it is more advanced. But here's the thing. I'd rather you try to at least, when you get pulled into a situation, and say, I've seen this before, versus saying, what the heck is that? I've never seen that a day in my life. Because you can be in so many opportunities and so many open doors when you can say, I've seen that before. So I don't know what your likes are. I don't know what you want for your career, not just you. Okay? So everything that you do, because someone took some pieces of the math and constructed it, that's how we're able to get TikTok, the internet, computers, phones that is basically walking computers that you don't have to have connected to a wall. You're able to use as a camera, a computer, data analysis, now using AI, all those things, even the clothing designs that you have, why you have shoes, why boxes of pizza are squares instead of circles, because the pizza is a round circle. So a lot of those things kind of take into play. Okay? So we're not supposed to know everything, but let's see how things can go. All right? Okay. All right. So, comes first, then that. True to no. Most pizzas are circular here in the States. Good morning, Danny Boo. Okay? So you're not doing multiplication first. So that's what's screwing you out. Okay? You have to do your order of operations. You do inside your parenthesis first. That's 4 minus 7. That's where your negative 3 comes from. Then you have to do your exponents. Okay? So negative 3 squared is actually a positive 9. But since there's a minus sign that's in front of that parenthesis, that's why this is minus. Okay? Now, this is the part that screws everybody up. Multiplying or dividing from left to right. When I go from left to right, the first that comes up is the division. Alright? So 18 divided by 3, that gives me my 6. Then you do the multiplication, because multiplication comes before subtraction. Alright? Okay. Let's try this one. See if we can do this in 1 minute. Okay. There's no operation in parentheses? Yes, there was. There was a 4 minus 7. The answer is not 30, it's 3. Thank you, Amir. Is it 30? Peanut for the 4th time. It's 3. Okay. Alright, so a cylinder has a radius of 3 inches and a height of 10 inches. What is the total volume in terms of pi? Okay, holding our answers until the end of the buzzers. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. So, what will be my volume in terms of pi? Okay, what will be my volume? Okay, it's Dusty, I see you. Okay, Amir, I see your answer. But it has to be in terms of pi. Times the height. There you go, Mathis. There you go. To Mathis, I see you. Okay, Lou. Alright. So if you're not sure where to start, put a question mark in the chat. Dave, I see you. Cher, thank you for your honesty. Lou, thank you for your honesty. Ramona, thank you for your honesty. Brenda, thank you so much for your honesty. Natalia, thank you so much for your honesty. Alright. Okay, so this is a safe space. Okay, this is a safe space. If you feel that this is way too slow for you, thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, I appreciate you. But this is what I do. I come and I'm breaking down concepts. Alright? So now, but we're leaving it in terms of pi of e. Okay? Alright. So if you take a look, alright? No, from left to right. That's the part that everyone keeps missing, Mr. C's. Okay? Even Google. Alright? So, when it comes to the cylinder, and we are looking for volume. So the volume of the cylinder is basically the area of your base times your height. Now for a cylinder, we know that most circular, you can think of cans. Their bases are circles. So if we're trying to find the area of a circle, that's basically saying pi r squared, because that's the area of a circle. Now, times its height. But they gave us a little bit of grace. They say they want the total volume in terms of pi. What that means, if you look at your answer choices, you should see pi involved. So that means you don't have to convert pi into the abbreviated version, which is 3.14. Okay? So they gave us a couple of things. They told us what our radius is, which is 3 inches. And they told us what our height is, which is 10 inches. And all we're doing is plugging it into our formula. So we have our volume, we have our pi, our radius, which is 3, and our height, which is 10. Okay? So, when you have your 3 squared, 3 squared, that's 3 times 3, so that gives us our 9. And we're going to multiply that 9 to the 10, which gives us 90. Alright? So since we want to leave it in terms of pi, our volume is exactly this, 90 pi. But here's the part that I want you to insert, is what is the measurements. Since we're talking about inches, it's not going to be inches squared, because volume is dealing with 3 dimensions. It's going to be our cubic inches. So one of the things you could do, if you look at your answer choices, if they're saying we're looking at volume, the first thing I always look at is the measurements. If I see anything with an exponent of a 2, or they even write out the word square inches, immediately that is canceled out. Because volume always deals with the cubic measurement. Okay? So that's one thing that you could do. You had to know what a volume is in order to figure out what that tip was going to be. Alright? So since they just wanted us to leave it in terms of pi, that's why we still have a pi in our answer. Okay? Alright. Okay. Okay. Are 2 different things. Yes, they are. Surface area just deals with the ounce. What about the surface area volume? Surface area and volume, that's exactly right. 2 different things. So volume, if I may, think of it as my, I don't know, my lip gloss here. So the surface area is like how much wrapping do I need? You know, let's find the area of this sticker that's on here that wraps around it. Whereas the volume deals with how much of Burt's Bees I need to fill this container. Okay? So, volume, you're going to fill. Surface area is the wrapping. Okay? Alright. Okay, will this be on the midterm? On your midterm, if you're taking a class, yes. And I know you're trying to be cute. Alright, so we have a couple more. Alright, let's take a look. 1 minute. And hold your answer until the end. Okay? And hold the answer until the end. Okay. 15 seconds. Hold your answers until the end. Alright. Alright. So, what did you get for an answer? Let me even back up. How many of you guys, when you were looking at this, you're like, no? Like, seriously, how many of you guys, when you just, as soon as you saw a paragraph, you're like, no, not doing this? Okay. So everyone was perfectly fine with this? Alright. Okay. Alright, so Sarah, I see your answer. Okay. Thinking a deaf question. Okay, Ramona, thank you. Pharaoh, thank you for your honesty. Okay. As pie. Okay, why are we still talking about pie? Okay, we're not even doing volume. Completely different question. Alright, so now the sun's starting to come up a little bit. So we have a recipe for concrete mix. So what they're telling us is 3 parts sand, 2 parts gravel, 1 part cement. Okay? So they want to know, and that's the cement by weight. So if they're going to need to prepare 120 pounds of that mixture, they want to know how many pounds is going to be gravel. How much of that gravel is going to be needed in that 120 pounds? Alright, so let's take a look. Since we're talking about the gravel, we need to know how much of this mixture is gravel. Well, if you have 3 parts, 2 parts, and 1 part, 3 plus 2 and 1 is 6. So all your parts, you got 6. But since we're looking for just the gravel, we have 2 out of the 6 parts. So now 2 out of the 6 parts, that can be reduced because both 2 and 6 are even numbers. So what they have in common is 2. So for me to reduce a fraction, I need to reduce it by their common number, which is 2. So this gives me 1/3. So we got 1/3. So that means 1/3 of this mixture, okay, is going to give us our combined weight. But if we're preparing for the whole thing to be 120 pounds, that means we're going to take 1/3 of multiplication, the 120 pounds. So when you multiply your 1/3 to a whole number of 1/20 or 120, you can do one of two things. You can make this whole number into a fraction without devaluing it by dividing it by 1. And what you could do is multiply straight across. So 1 times 120, that gives me 120. And 3 times 1 gives me 3. So now you got 120 divided by 3. Well, I know 3 can go into 12 4 times. And how many 3's can go into 0? 0. So how many pounds of gravel? 40 pounds of gravel. If you want to do that a little bit more, you got your 1/3 times your 1/20th, and you can do what's called cross simplify. What does 3 and 120 have in common? They both have elements of 3. So 3 divided by 3, that will make that into a 1. And 120 divided by 3, that will be a 40. And then 40 over 1 is just simply 40. Okay? So you can either set it up as 2 ratios and multiply straight across horizontally, then divide, or you can do what's called cross simplify. Okay? Alright? Beautiful thing. Alright, so, and we have one more. And then we're done for today. So I'm hoping that you guys are learning something. I'm hoping that you're feeling like you're learning something. Try to do this to the best of your ability. Okay? Then you'll have a remainders, Abel. Okay, Gavin, you're not. Alright. Okay, Mitz, what do you have? Okay, if you're not sure where to start, put a question mark in the chat. If you think you know your answer, go ahead and put your answers in. It's not going to be timed too much. Okay, Charles, I see you. Mitz, I see you. Brian, I see you. Okay. Is that the tube? I see you. Wagyu, I see you. Okay. Sowing healthy seeds, I see you. Okay, La, I see you. Ashane, I see you. Or Ocean, I see you. Okay, S, I see you. Alright, Sarah, I see you. Alright, Sue, I see you. Carl, I see you. Okay, good job, Carl. Pretty Peach, I see you. You better know? Well, Brian, you don't have to say you better know. Because there's some people that are your age, or even older, that has never seen function notation before. So, you could put the stress upon yourself, which is fine. But you don't have to. Alright? So, this is what's called a function notation. And the function that we're looking at is the H function. Functions could be anything. It could be F, it could be P, it could be J, it could be H. But notice that the X and the 5 are in the same spots, meaning they're both inside the parenthesis. So that means that this 5 is going to take the place of the x in your expression. So if we look at it, it's going to look something like this. We have a -3, and we're going to replace the x with a number, then bring down your +10. So what's going to go in for the x is that 5. So now, order of operations. Okay? We're doing multiplication before addition. So that means we're going to multiply -3 times 5. So when the signs are opposite, one's positive, one's negative, your result is always going to be negative, and it'll be a -15. Bring down your +10. So -5 plus 10, if someone owes you $15 and they paid you 10, they still owe you $5. So your answer for this one is going to be -5. And this is what you just did. You found a point on this line. If I look at it, I can say that this is y equals -3x plus 10. That's a linear graph. And what you just found is a point on that graph. The x was the 5, and your answer of the y is a -5. That's basically what you just found. Okay? All right. Okay. Let's try one slightly advanced one, and then we are officially done. Can't say that this wasn't joyous. Slightly a step up. Give this one a try. Think about what we just did. Hello, Brad. How are you? Yeah, I decided to throw this one on here, Sarah. That's okay. Okay, I'm okay. Alright. Alright, so baby Z, I see you. Brad, I see you. Thank you. Alright. So if you think you got it, go ahead and put it in the chat. And if you're not sure, put a question mark. Okay? Put a question mark. Okay, Lily, I see you. Okay, Shucky Ducky, thank you so much for your honesty. Alright. Alright. Nemo, okay, Lie, I thank you. Alright. Okay, Mitz, I see you. Marvelous Marvin, I see you. Okay, Nito, or Neat. Okay, finishing out Bud Light Virus. Right there. Alright. Okay. Thank you for joining in. Alright, so let's break this down. Just like we did with the last one. I noticed that this time I have an expression that's inside the parenthesis. And notice what else is inside the parenthesis is my x. So this is saying that, hey, I want you to take this expression and I want you to substitute for the x inside of its expression. There you go, Brenda. Okay, hey. Hey, how are you, Freeland? What's up? Alright, so it's going to look like this. You have your 4, But instead of the x, you're going to put in x minus 1. Okay? So, in order to simplify it, we're always going to do what? Distribute. So 4 times the x as well as the negative 1. So 4 times x, that gives me 4x. But don't forget to distribute the 4 to that negative 1 as well, which is my negative 4. So your solution for h of x minus 1 is going to equal 4x minus 4. Okay? All right. Okay? Will come out. All right? So that means if you put an expression in, you should be getting an expression out. When you guys plugged in, when we did the last one, when you plugged a number in, you should be getting a number out. Okay? So that's how functions work. Some people like to think of it as like a machine. Oops, forgot to give this one a little opening. Okay? So if I put my input, so that function is going in, then whatever your function is, then you're going to have your output. Okay, something's going into the machine, then something's coming out. Okay, all right. So if you feel that you need more practice with this, and I know a lot of you guys are probably, just entertaining yourselves, which is perfectly fine. But in all seriousness, there's going to be a time, maybe you're trying to get your GED, maybe you're trying to get the Accuplacer, and you really just need assistance, because we can sit here, and which a lot of people generally do, and they go after problem after problem. Okay, so you go after problem after problem. Some people said they wanted to screenshot. Go ahead. So you're going to take all the screenshots. Okay, so here's another one with some of the work that we did. Let's see if I can push it all the way up a little bit more. But here's my question. What are you going to do with all this work? What are you going to do with all this knowledge? Okay. So you have all this stuff that we've done. But then it's like you're going to leave here, go watch a cat video, and then you're going to forget everything. I'm like, okay, that's all fine and good. But then when it's time for you to remember and maybe for you to test out, you forget. Then all of a sudden you completely forget everything. You're like, oh, well, how did she do that problem? Where did she go with all that? Because we have to learn it. Just as much as everybody was having a huge kerfuffle about order of operation. Because a lot of people were never told about multiplying or dividing from left to right. And the same thing for adding and subtracting from left to right. Everybody knows, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, and they all think that multiplication comes first. But here's the weird part. You keep getting the answer wrong. So when are we going to trust ourselves to make the switch? Okay? That's the part that's missing. I'm telling you what's missing so you can do well. I want you to do well. I want you to get past this barrier so you can achieve what you want to achieve. Okay? So it's so hard. I know it's hard to break habits, because here's the thing. It was a habit that you didn't know that you needed, that you didn't know that you had. So it's like, it's great that you can take the snapshots, but then what are we going to do to apply it? So now we have to figure this stuff out. And I'm willing to break things down, even if you don't want to touch. Notice I have books. I wrote books. Not only that you do a whole bunch of practice, because like I said, if you didn't have the instruction, now you're like, oh, I gotta practice, and you're practicing incorrectly. And then you're like, man, okay, I think I did great on that test. And then you get the results and you're like, I did worse than without me studying. And then how you feel? Defeated. Want to give up. You know what? That job's stupid. I don't need that job. Deep in your heart, you know you do. This will change so many things. This will like give you so much hope. And just because of a stupid test, you can't do what you want to do. So let's break down that. Let's change this mindset. Let's trust in yourself to learn the process, so then you can practice and then you can apply it to the test. A lot of people, they like the way that I teach. That's great. But I want to help change your life. Okay? Failed by 1 point 10 months ago. Stop trying to? No. So that means 1 point means you just needed to change your thinking. And you know what? God chose God first. It might be just this whole concept right here. It might be just one, maybe two problems by you changing your process, by remembering from left to right. That might be the deciding factor of you passing. Just one little thing. You did? Okay, good. All right? But also, I love when people say, hey, Audrey, I love your books, but I just do the practice problems. What's the point of that? Okay? In the beginning of my book, you're going to get a QR code. What you do is you scan that QR code, and then it will then you get started. Okay? So for this one, this is my volume 3, one-step equations. And I walk you through one-step equations. If you feel confident in it, fast forward. Go to the next section. The next section, one-step equations with multiplying. Okay, let me take a look at that. All right, I did that. Awesome. Gives you a place for you to write notes. And then we do some extra practice. There's practice problems in the videos, but there's extra practice problems here for you to apply what you learned. And once you apply what you learn, you go to the next section, and then the next section, and then the next section. And if there's certain things that you forgot, if we go more towards the back of the book, I give you reference pages, especially this part. Okay? Rules of integers. This part, order of operations. Okay? From left to right, doing the international. Look at the exponents. So all of this is written in the back of the book. And then also I give you some extras. I give you some flashcards. So now you can take these flashcards, you can either, since this is for solving, you can either make them into little cards, or I like to use these as matching. So you can try to solve them, and then you get additional cards that you can match them to match your answers. And if you're not sure, there's an answer key. There's always an answer key. All right? With a little bit of everything in the practice with yours. Yes. And that's perfect, because everything is here. Okay? And they come into a total of 10 books. So if this sounds like something that you need, if you click the link inside my bio, there's a link called the Stand Store. And it's not like, oh, as soon as you click it, it just takes you right into a store. Yeah, if you live in another country, yes, you can. Because these books are digital. They're e-books. So let me put it in the chat, because right now I'm currently using my phone for light. Remember, I was in the dark. Because it looks like it's about to rain. Let me see if I got that. Let me pin it for you. Okay. So if you go to stan.store/mathbyaudrey, there is a free, and also I take care of free because sometimes people just don't know where they are. So there is a free like math check. It talks about, and it basically touches on a lot of concepts that you generally see in your GED, your ASVAB, your Accuplacer. You know, give that a go. And I'm even saying to people, guys, if you want me to check it, you could take a picture of it and send it to me here on TikTok. Send it in my DMs. And I have yet to have a person do that. Like, I want you to succeed, but you gotta trust yourself. But if it's a matter of like, hey Audrey, I tried to do those problems and yeah, I couldn't do any of them. All right, so then let's take it a step further. Let's figure out, I'm still here, sorry. Let's figure out how we can get a plan together so I can say, hey, all right, that means you need these type of books. And some of the books come with a video answer key. So like if I was doing, because I also have practice books, so like if I was doing, let's say, this question, and you're just like, shoot, I don't know how to start it. Well, guess what? I got a video of me breaking this down, step by step, right? So now you can say, oh, okay, that's how you do X, Y, and Z. All right, got you. And then you can move on. Okay, the same thing is if I have my practice books. You know, I have a practice books with 6 full-length tests on here because you need to practice the way that you're going to test. So if I open it up, you can actually take a look. Straight Up just has the answers. I mean, I want to see how it's computed too. Right, and that's why, who said that? Hey Ambler, how are you? Mitz, that's why I'm saying like I have the video breakdown. So like if you just get the books, yeah, you're just going to get the answer. But if you want the ones with the video explanation, you can get those as well. Okay? All right. So April, yes, that was PEMDAS. So all of these questions, I did video breakdowns of each and every one of these questions. So you can break all this stuff down. This particular question, you'll see a lot for the Accuplacer. Okay? Not so much for GED. But remember, that's what I said, it's GED, ASVAB, and Accuplacer. A lot of the skill set that you see is all in those 3 type assessments. Then I also have one just for my ASVAB people. But I'm noticing a couple of my GED people are getting this as well. So the way that it's broke down, you got 4, and they're like arithmetic reasoning type questions. The reason why a lot of you guys don't do well with the arithmetic reasoning section is because you don't know how to read word problems. And to read word problems, you're reading it like you're writing a novel. So like if I had any of those, so breaking it on down, okay? Just pulling information out and be able to calculate, okay? All right? So all of these are listed. So it's up to you. It's up to you. So you can get a freebie, give that a try, take a picture of it, send it to me, okay? Or you can order a book. Or you can just keep watching videos, hoping and praying that it sticks in your brain, and then when it's time for you to take the test, you're going to be confused. Because everyone teaches the same concept, but they teach it in different ways. Find a way that best suits you, okay? It's not all about me trying to sell my books only. I do tutoring, I sell my books, my kids will be coming back in a couple of weeks, so things are going to be all kinds of cray-cray, okay? So if you find that, hey, I like how this other person teaches it. Stick with that person. Figure out how they do it. Okay? If you like how I do things, awesome. Okay? If you've liked the book and you want to get an ebook copy of it, hey, keep going to the stand store. But don't try to mix and match because you're going to get confused. Life is already confusing. We don't need additional stuff. Okay? All right. So, if you need any kind of assistance, even if you just say, hey, Audrey, I'm trying to take this GED. I've taken it multiple times. Can your book really help me? Because I know that's what you guys are doing. A good 70 of you that are still here probably have been watching my lives for about a couple of months now. Yeah, I'm talking to you now. Now it's time to basically shoot your shot. Okay? Mathematically, all right? It's time. It's time now. Because you've watched all my videos. And also on the Stand Store, you can go to my YT channel where all of my replays are held as well. But it's time. The time is now. You want to take this test? I'm not saying for you to take the test next week. No, give yourself some grace. But the time is now to take the test. The time is now to prepare for the test correction. And you can do it. Because I was a kid that I hated math. Because I hated how I felt. I felt dumb. I felt like I couldn't do it. I felt like everyone else knew a secret and they weren't telling me. And then one day someone told me that dividing and fractions are the same thing. And it just clicked. And I was the rightful age of 25. Seriously? And now, all of a sudden, God willing, God told me, hey, I need for you to be a math teacher. Seriously, Lord, did you not see what was going on in the early 25 years of my life? Now you want me to be a math teacher. Now, 22 years in the classroom, about to start my 7th year as an online math tutor, and I tutor kids and adults on the East Coast, the West Coast, Puerto Rico, Alaska. I had some students in Nairobi, Kenya, and Cairo, Egypt. You like what you're seeing? Good. So, if you need that support, I will see you in my DMs. Okay? Please. And if you're just like, I'm here for entertainment, I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7:45 a.m. Hopefully I'll have a little more natural light than I did earlier today. But I want the best for you. I really do. I don't know how else to express it, but I really do want the best for you. All right? So have an amazing day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for the gifts. Thank you so much. I just want you to win. All right? So let's figure this out. Have a good one.